Hello! I wanted to give you a quick review of the books I read for the Queer Lit Readathon for 2024. I want to say this is my third year doing the Queer Lit Readathon, and I will link them to all the things. But basically, they create a bingo board with different types of books to challenge you to read during the month of Pride in June. And so here is what I read. We're going to start out with Ocean's Blood by Thelma Mentley. This was an indie book that I got as a blind date with a book, and I gave it 2 stars. It is supposed to be a dark fantasy book. There are elements I guess some people would consider dark. There is blood consumption, but it follows a character named Vint, who is a thiopod, which means that he is basically indentured to a being called the Singer, who has a magical voice and makes things happen in this universe. I don't know, it just wasn't for me. It's fine. And then I read The Sunshine Court, which is the 4th book in the All for the Game series by Nora Sakavic. This book follows Jean. If you're a fan of All for the Game, Jean is a tortured soul, traumatized soul. He's a broken boy who needs some help, and he starts to find that help in this book. And I really love this whole series. It's a little over the top in dramatics, but it's really fun and it's really quick. Some parts are dark and heavy, but it's a really good contemporary queer book. Then I read She is a Haunting by Trong Tan Tran. This is a Vietnamese author. It is a horror book that takes place in a house, a haunted house, if you will. There's really beautiful imagery in this book, and it's absolutely terrifying. I gave it 4 stars. Please read it with the lights on. But it's really good. Yeah, highly recommend that one. And then I read Thunder Song, which is a collection of essays by Sasha Lapointe. I don't want to mess up her indigenous name, but it's in the book title. Really cool collection of, her experience and the generational experience of being an indigenous human. A little bit of punk, a little bit of queer, and a whole bunch of just empowering in a contemporary world. So really cool, highly recommend. And then I also read the sequel, a Court of Wanderers by Rin Shepeko. This follows Remy Pendergast, who is in a love triangle with 2 vampires. Is a vampire book, fair warning. Really cool mix of Chinese fantasy and like gothic vampires. Really cool. Some scenes are real spicy in this book, but if you like mutant zombie vampires and spicy scenes, this book's for you. I'll phrase it that way. And then I read F.T. Lukens' newest book, Otherworldly. Super cute, follows a non-binary main character named Ellery, and their adventures in learning about the magical world that exists around them. And then it also follows Knox, who just happens to be from that other world. Super cute. Again, another fun, light read. Highly recommend. I think F.T. Lukens has definitely improved in their writing since I first started reading them, so I'm excited to see what else they publish. And then we read a manga. Restart After Growing Hungry is the second in the Restart After series, and this follows more, I want to say, not young adult, but under and around 30-year-old adults, and kind of like finding love after your career falls apart. This one's really cute. If you read both, they're great together. And then here's the woozy. I read Only This Beautiful Moment by Abdi Nesmain. Holy cannoli, guys, you're gonna cry if you read this one. It follows 3 different narrators, Maud, Syed, and Bobby, throughout the 1900s and mid 2000s. And it kind of really touches on the Iranian, the policies and political stance in Iran about being queer, and how, you know, being queer can impact your family generationally. It's really, really good. You will cry, have tissues ready. But that is a short video of all the books I read for the Queer Lit Readathon. Thank you for listening, and I hope to join you next month to talk about my summer ween reading. I've been reading a lot of horror. All right, bye.